She was attacked by what appears to be essentially a robot.
Hello, sirs and madams. It's your buddy Admiral Teag. How you doing out there? Welcome to the show. It's good to see everyone. Let's see who's out there. Let's see who we got. We have in the gallery right now John the Beagle Dad. Hello, John. Mr. House Party 6 is here too. You know what? That's enough to start the party. Let's see who else comes in. This has been a little while since we've been able to reliably show up on Tuesday, but when we do, we kind of come in a little later, and you know what? The dead man is here. Dead man, good to see you, sir. Good to see everyone. Guys, do me a favor. Even if no one hears it, shoot off a few flares for me. Tweet out that I'm live off the browser. YouTube loves this stuff, and also, you know, we're almost there. Once you cross the line and hit 3,000, and as you can see right now, we're at 2.96, so getting close, and I thank each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart on this one. And you know what? Honestly, if it weren't bad luck, I would toast you. But you know, it's water, so you know you're not supposed to do that. But I do appreciate every single one of you who has shown confidence in me to bring you the Landman info, some of this Paramount info, and the stuff we've got going on with Star Trek these days. Which the last few weeks really went from crazy random whisperings that were contradicting each other to a more unified murmuring is the only way to put it. We have been talking a lot lately about the Star Trek fake news pipeline, and it seems to be the tachyon pulse that starts most of the Star Trek fake news. And you know what? Let me turn off the air conditioner, the better to hear me with. It's good to see everyone. What do you think about maybe member stream on Friday? Anyone down for that one? I think we could do it in late afternoon. Say hi to everybody. Let's see how that one goes. If you're new to the channel and you've never been to the show before, welcome. It's good to see everyone out there. And you know what? I guess I can stumble into the studio and turn on the green band upload of this one to get this in magnificent Rebellion colors, which I don't know what the deal has been lately with the whole Bumble thing. Let me explain. There is another platform, right? It rhymes with Bumble. I don't have the kind of contempt for it you might imagine, but it is an extremely frustrating and this is not the kind of place where stuff usually works. Only way I know how to put it. A lot of times it just, as I say, blows up on the pad, which is the only way to put what happens. But you know what? Let's kick it off now and see what happens. If it is going to happen, it will happen now. And yeah, okay. It looks like we have just showed up on the other side as well. So welcome to the Intense Talk Show. I'm here, and we got a few stories for you. The first of which is the Acolyte is back. Now, you've been hearing about this one all day, and I usually like to stay away from stuff that people have reported on already, but we've got this Acolyte show coming back on us. Will it ever go away? It's crazy that in 2025, this show that flamed out over a year ago soon, right? It flamed out at what was it, the very beginning of this year? So we're about to cross the line to like over a year ago. And what is there to be said for this show this far later that it cost a lot more money than She-Hulk and failed bigger? That it brought Star Wars to a new low? But suddenly today, a couple of developments, and yes, Mr. House Party 6 wants to hear it. Wait, hold on. Clapping on mic is so hard to do properly. Let me try that. Acolyte! Yeah, you know what? Whistling and clapping on mic, they don't really work out great. But yeah, the Acolyte was like, that was when that was one of the last ever watch parties before we moved to the split between Germ's channel and mine for that one. And it's been working out really well. It's a good solid analytic over here now. But listen to this, guys. The Acolyte creator got caught somewhere. They invited her to go talk somewhere. Now, what has she done? Russian Doll and the Acolyte. And welcome, everybody. Thanks for being here. Look, so Leslie Headland got caught on some red carpet somewhere. I saw the video. I heard the outtakes. I don't know if this was a Disney thing. It might have been Wicked too. It might have been the Wicked. The only thing that could make Wicked worse would be to make more of it, right? Wicked 1 maybe wasn't everyone's cup of tea, but it ends, right? And it ends the way it's supposed to, like the Wicked Witch is flying over Oz, laughing her ass off, and okay. But then they had to go take it to parts that were cut from the play and extend the play into stuff that didn't pass your initial test. So stuff that was thrown away because it didn't pass the LOL test being packed in there to make some kind of, exactly. No one ever asks her about that, Mr. House Party 6. Have you noticed that one? We have to wonder, why, Jim, why does no one ever ask Leslie Headland about that job?
It's a mystery. I don't like mysteries. Give me a belly ache, and I got a beauty right now. But it's a mystery.
It certainly is, Jim. I'm sorry, William.
Spock!
No, it's Teag, but it's okay, William. Don't worry. I understand. Listen, I don't know why they made a Wicked 2, but I think that's where they got, of all people, crazy Leslie Headlamp. And I'm not a doctor here, but here we go into opinion. It's my opinion that anybody who could screw up Star Wars that bad that it like really is like got the kind of permadeath that the like even Rise of Skywalker, they shook it off with like one meaningful episode of The Mandalorian. But I think that like she has John Wicked the Star Wars franchise real good. Real good. And so the newest thing is the Drinker dropped the video today. Said, it's my fault and his fault and everyone else's fault who talked about it. Like, forget about this $1 billion corporation. Forget about all the pixie dusters and pixie duster channels who are going to pick up on it, right? Forget about all these influencers that they're going to find on TikTok who can't sell a show, right? A show that is going to last like hopefully 40 minutes an episode. You're going to sell it to people who capture someone's attention for, I don't know, 180 seconds, right? Like that's good for a TikToker. Like I got like a solid 220 seconds. That must be like out of this world, right? So that's going on. And you've got these people who are now trying to bring in your audience. And like, what are you going to do? You're going to make TV that's, influenced by influencers. Well, what do they want? They want the show to be like vapid and meaningless enough to tweet through. And I got to tell you, I never miss any information tweeting my way through any MCU or Disney Star Wars show. But apparently it's our fault. This show we all watch together. This entire chat, and if you're new, welcome aboard. But this entire channel community, we did like a split watch party. We brought Outlaw Bill over here, and we were laughing our asses off. And like that's when he just gave up on Star Wars. He was just like, it's too much. He declared it unfixable, and he bailed. And he had been Jedi Bill up until that point. So the video of him rage quitting being a Star Wars fan, hilarious. And where they were going with the franchise, no one wanted to go there, believe me.
Don't bullshit me.
I'm not bullshitting you. It was that bad. I'm being really serious. Like, you wouldn't believe some of the stuff that they're showing. Yeah. We have green, female, space, lesbians. One of them is Cynthia Erivo. One of them is some other chick. And of course, like the white one is like, she's kind of like Darth Maul's species. She's like, I don't know if she's like one of those witches. They're all witches, right? But she looks like one of those original witches from the cartoon. And she's got like the horns. And then you got like Cynthia Erivo is like the other one. And of course, she's the better mother than the lighter skinned one. And it's just like this virtue signal, like blaring you in the face like a bat signal being turned off and on, off and on, off and on. Just like instructing you, waving a finger in your face. And it had some of the lowest ratings and was some of the most hated Star Wars we've ever seen. So what happens? She turns around and blames all of us. Apparently, according to Drinker, her riff is that, and I did see some of it. All these micro creators just said it was bad, so people didn't watch. You know what? That's not a good excuse, because the device to watch is right in your home. And if anything, Disney is pretty permissive when you make a video essay. I make video essays around here, right? Like I will create one for probably tomorrow. We're voting on it now. I don't know. We'll see. But like Landman, Star Trek, something else. Like I make these video essays, and a lot of times, a lot of you will be really, really cool and watch them. And I always totally appreciate that. It's why they get made, right? Because like the thing is, the YouTube side of this, where they actually pay you for it, you don't make a bunch of money. Like, it's reversed from like when people give you like cash and just like gift you. The split's reversed. They keep most of that money. How the people at Clownfish TV have survived this long, I don't know, because they almost never go live. Then we found out they owned a game room in Western PA, and they had to close that down. Their rent is so high. They say the economy's great. I'm not so sure about that, but I don't know. What do I know these days, right? I've got a funny video for you. It's weird. It's all over the place. It's news, so I kind of have the right to re-show it, which is what I'm going to do. And this happened today over in England. Just to give you guys a little tease of what we'll do later. You can see this one. This was, I can't seem to find it. Where are you? I guess we got to go at the screen on this one. All right, check out this kooky screen cap. This happened in England. If you've ever heard of the show Father Ted, you will recognize this guy. Let me see if I can't capture this a better way. This is really wonky. You know what? Let's just go to the actual YouTube and I'll show it to you. It's really quite something. We have some trans activism gone like wildly awry in England. I don't know what this person was thinking when they confronted the guy. I always watched the show. I thought it was hilarious, called Father Ted. If you've heard of this show, let me know about it. It's about these priests who are too dumb or too drunk or too dishonest to be allowed to sort of be on the mainland and be part of like the real world. They're too nuts. So like they're exiled to this island off the coast of Ireland called Craggy Island, and that's where these wild, crazy priests who don't know how to behave have to go, right? Father Ted, it seems like he stole a little bit too much money. You know what? Father Dougal, he's really dumb, and Father Jack is an alcoholic. So this is the creator of Father Ted. So this guy has a great sense of humor. You're not going to believe this shit. There's this person that calls themselves Sophia. And I don't remember their last name right now, but they basically they have created a backlash which they are now harvesting, where they sort of bait people into these confrontations. And you'll see what they do here is this Sophia, formerly known as Tarquin, runs up, a female identifying trans activist, I believe is the correct term. I'm trying to do my best here. Runs up to the creator of Father Ted. His name is Graham Linehan, the gentleman that we're going to watch. He's made some very funny TV. Father Ted, some of the funniest stuff you'll ever see. So this is what happens when this person gets in his face and starts to yell at him. Watch this.
Why do you think it's acceptable to call teenagers domestic terrorists? Oi! Oi! Here I am with Graham Linehan, the man who called me a domestic terrorist.
All right, so you get the idea. This is highly confrontational, highly, in your face. And I think the deal here was the person was not yet of age in England, but maybe for us. I think they're 18 when the incident happened. But this is their deal. They roll up on people, they stick a camera in their face, and they make the kind of accusations like you just saw. And that was a doozy. I'll let you hear it again. And isn't it weird when British people get into an argument? Like, they all sound so polite that you can't really tell they're fighting. So they say some very terrible buzzwords, but here we go.
Why do you think...
Notice this guy's in a great mood right now. This guy's going to ruin his day for no reason.
Why do you think it's acceptable to call teenagers domestic terrorists? Oi! Oi! Here I am with Graham.
All right, so they're tiled out because whatever. This is from the Daily Mirror, obviously. But let me tell you this crazy story. Look, Graham Linehan co-created Father Ted, a hilarious and irreverent BBC show that got boycotted in its time. Why? Because it kind of like went after Catholics, like hardcore, but it was a funny show, and like people were a little more tolerant at that point. I came here to chew space bubblegum and shoot phasers, and I'm all out of Romulan ale and space bubblegum. You know what? Sometimes you just got to take that disruptor and you got to use it, right? And sometimes you got to ask.
Why, Spock? Why? All you had to do was pull the trigger.
Exactly. You know what? Arnold,
Come on,
is he
don't
right?
bullshit me.
You might also be correct, sir. But you know what? We have at least the Romulan music for you. And the Star Trek music as we go on with our update. Linehan, the Father Ted guy, of all people. This guy wrote some of the funniest comedy ever. And whoa, hey! Mr. House Party 6 with an amazing gift dropping 5 Admiral Teag memberships. You know what? That's why I'm thinking this Friday for a membership stream, maybe late afternoon. Welcome aboard Metallica Man, XO, great band. Sci-Fi Sith Dan joins our ranks again. Outlaw Bill has received the membership. Hey, Padawannabe, we got to get you a device so we can call football games again. And of course, words and pictures. Welcome all. Thank you, Mr. House Party 6, founder of the Feast and the Party. Guys, do me a favor. I've missed a few shows on Tuesdays. It's life. That's how life goes. That's the world we've made for ourselves. Lots of work, but not lots of time to do YouTube. So I missed a lot of Tuesdays, and I don't think a lot of people know we're here. Also, I'm not exactly expecting to set it on fire through this week till this weekend, because I just think there's always going to be a lot of people traveling. There will be a lot of after-the-fact tuning in. There probably will be a lot of people listening later. If you are listening later, hello. Listening with the browser open for a while helps. Listening with the browser tab open for a while helps. That's how YouTube counts the views. We're trying to expand our voice as we knock on the door to 3,000 here. We're moving on it, moving on it like a biche, like a Bichon, like a female Bichon, just moving on it and trying to get there. Everything within my power. My kingdom for 3,000. We're 2968. So you know what? This is like bigger than I ever thought that this thing could get. So again, thank all of you very much from the bottom of my heart. Listen to what happened to the creator of Father Ted. Here's the story. Graham Linehan, the Father Ted co-creator, was found not guilty, by the way. That confrontation he was booked on harassment for that, or maybe they brought civil charges. I don't know if he was arrested on the scene, and I don't know what getting arrested in England is like. Very controversial indeed, or as they would say, controversial. But I think that they would probably have been like, "Oh, sir, you must come with us, sir." Like, they don't have guns. They also not have handcuffs. It's like, you like "Follow us, sir. You must come to the precinct house where we will take your finger impressions." I mean, I just don't know. If Gavin was here, he could tell us. He's probably seen it on TV. I've never seen Law and Order Europe, so I don't know. So outside court, there was a October 19th incident last year. It took till now to go to court. And so here's the deal. The incidents were that Tarquin is now 18, right? They're also referred to as Brooks and Tarquin. The activist goes by Sophia, and they're known by all three on social media. Like, it's impossible to really know. And I've got some incredible, just the behavior that I've seen from this person. What they'll also do is they kind of will just confront and be sort of real kooky to like members of British Parliament. And I have just here's my thing. Like, I get it, cringe sells, but I don't really want to do a whole cringe show. But like, since I don't want to have the cringe on the show, what I'll do is I'll just sort of import it a little bit in controlled amounts. And let me tell you, sirs and madams, this is some quite controversial, quite controversial indeed. So this is how this Sophia individual. Also, I guess, full disclosure, they're like an influencer, right? I don't know. You know what? This show was only announced a few hours ago. Tuesdays, I've been here less often than I have been making it. A lot of the times just to let the Landman show keep breathing. Last week's Landman, thank you guys, 2,100 views. Wow. Sirs and madams, it's good to be the voice on Landman. I don't know why more people don't do Landman commentary, but we are the only ones doing it. So, you know what, Mr. House Party 6, you're in charge, all right? Buddy, until Buddy gets here, you're head wrench. How do you like that one? Radioactive, hello, sir. Sir! You know what? I'm testing out my new bandwidth. I'm going... Of course, I just muted myself. My wire is now that wonky. I'm going to have to buy a DAC in the next couple of months. I'm going to have to dig down to the bottom of the Christmas stocking and see if there's anybody left. Between rescuing my dental emergencies, between rescuing my financial emergency, which, don't worry, guys. Like, I'm not headed for the street anytime soon. But, it's just to be prudent, it just seems like it makes sense, get your medical ducks in a row, get your financial ducks in a row, stock the fridge extra full of food, because January is coming and it looks like they're going to do that showdown once again, sirs and madams. But you know what? Mr. House Party 6 importing 5 members, with evil Clippy, like when the elevator in hell opens, is that who shows you around? It's like, hello. It's like, and tell me it's not weird, this confrontational style. This is cringe streaming right here at its peak, okay? Except no imitation. I think this is one of the best cringe streamers I've seen. Watch how cringe this is.
Record. Just record.
So, this is Sophia, as they call themselves, rallying their allies. They're as far along as they are. I don't know what the deal is. I haven't watched their videos describing surgeries. They're not as weird as Corn Pop, as they call them, the other person who likes to do the inappropriate videos at Disneyland. But this person has gone into the face of a member of parliament, right? So I don't know who it is, the MP. We don't see them. We only see this person and like some of their supporters and some shocked onlookers. So this seems to be what happens is this is one of this person's supporters documenting it, or this could be the member of parliament herself videoing back. Because what's gone on in England for the last couple of years is we have people having like face downs in the street, right? Because remember, like uttering something can now potentially, and I'm not a British barrister, but we've seen this. Yeah, Corn Pop is a bad dude, man. He's my friend. Corn Pop is what I stole it from Mrs. Sassyquatch, who used to do streams where she talked about this one influencer who would go to Disneyland, and they were transitioning, and they were on that thing, and they would go to Disneyland, and they would just sit in like a public place, and they would take food items, and they would like, what they did to that piece of bratwurst that they bought at Disneyland was absolutely freaky. And they were talking about like, things that you can talk about on YouTube, but maybe shouldn't, which would be bottom surgery, as they call it. So it was really cringe, and like they're chopping up food, and they're talking quite frankly. Now, there is honestly a space for this done legitimately as like some kind of education thing. It's like, you know what? You want to get that? So, yeah, come on, man. I'm going to talk about my friend Corn Pop. But the Corn Pop was actually a female or whatever, a female identifying trans individual. Real name, I forgot. We showed their TikTok. They're a TikTok sensation. They've got that crazy red hair, and they comb their hair at firecrackers, and they go looking like really not convincingly female to Disneyland. And like they get that picture taken with the creature with Mickey, and like so they're sitting around at Disneyland just having this very frank discussion about how bottom surgery works to change over from put tab A into slot B, and then fold here, and then you see kids walking by, and they're like, huh? And like they're tough to even look at because they're so unseemly. But again, this is like another one of those in-your-face sort of activists. They will bring the activism to you. You want to stay away from it? Don't worry, they'll bring it to you.
So how is it a hate fest? What's your reasoning? No, what is it?
No, you keep on.
So the member of parliament is like preemptively, maybe this is their point of view, yelling at Sophia, what did I do that was hateful? Why are you why is what I did hateful? Describe it, Make your case. You're telling people to hate me because of what I did. Well, back it up, put your mouth where your money is.
I'm saying that sex is immutable, and that's a fact. So I'm going to refuse to explain how it's a hate fest.
So there they are playing this British social media game trying to go viral, right? What they're doing is they're trying to lure the person into a statement that maybe gets a member of parliament arrested, or they get a piece of viral video and maybe a key edit or something there. This particular individual does not want to be left alone. And this is very controversial indeed. It's only about 3 minutes total, so I'll give you another couple seconds.
You don't know what you're talking about, do you?
So just confronted, and isn't it just like I said, when British people argue, it's the funniest thing, right? British people arguing the movie. Where's Gavin? So he can translate all this English into American for us. We have to try to use our second language, guys. What do you do? What do you say? Punches closet, Kurtzman sphincter. If you had an effigy of him, fine. At this point, he's been on the public scene so long, saying things that were provably untrue.
I know what you were talking about. Get the angle. Go in from behind.
So, instructing, like, I don't know what's up with this other individual here. And you notice I don't want to say anything more. Like, is it a sir? Is it a madam? Like, if I guess wrong, like, definitively, it could go badly for me. In England, we don't want, like, Scotland Yard coming here looking for the Admiral. I mean, they would take me in for... Could you imagine dragging me through Trafalgar Square in handcuffs past Lord Admiral Nelson? I'd look up to him and I'd say, Sir, I know a lot of the sailors that sail with you are gay, but did you ever think that they'd do this for someone making a few jokes? Sir, did you ever think this would happen? And he would say to me, no, sir, I didn't think it. But you know what, here we go.
What's your name?
Goddess.
goddess. That was a weird. What is your name? Now, this is a member of their government, an elected official. Listen to this.
What's your name?
So that's what they're treating. The point of view person is the government officials. It's not the person on camera. This is the kind of harassment they're dealing with from these two activists.
No.
Can you guess what community they're from? Shira? Okay.
Why did you accuse me of lying about your assault?
Now, to say that to them, they're trying to get them to play like a verbal gymnastics here. If they say you're lying, then you could like have defamation right there. And welcome everybody. Please hit the like and follow buttons. The goal here is to break into like Star Trek Discovery of producer territory with the likes and follows. But what we have here, this individual is a female identifying individual known as Sophia. And I believe the last name is always Brooks for this individual. I'm not sure because I've seen Brooks use the first name. So I'm trying to be, as exacting and as polite here, sirs and madams, as I can be. And I want to thank you for the 6 likes. Can we get a little Viagra on the like count, though? I like it. If you hit the like count, it usually now starts reacting. Sometimes it makes a little, like, clapboard. It'll slate me in. So here we go. With a little more of this weird exchange. And is that a battery on the back of their phone, or is that just to grip it better? Is that, little suction cups so you stick the phone on the wall and you do your, into the mirror testimonial? That's my guess.
When I never even talked about it.
I don't remember you.
Now, you just said, why did you say I made a crime when I never made a crime? Which is the only way to talk about having done something criminal and luring someone in without actually looking worse, right?
No, you just randomly accused me of lying about your assault one day on Twitter.
Well, maybe the only reason I would accuse you of that is because you did. No, I do not. I do not lie.
About the assault. Yeah, you do.
Oh, you're just
No, I'm not lying. No, I didn't say anything bad about you.
silly.
You instigated it and then cried when you got assaulted.
How did I instigate it? Did you actually
went up
see
to
what
them.
happened?
And you filmed it.
Yeah.
Now, we've seen this person's MO. They ran up to the Father Ted guy's face and had the camera about this close to him as it is to hers. As you can see, the Member of Parliament's gotten a little smarter. She plays the game back. She's got her camera
I
on.
filmed people who were filming us.
Yeah,
who
and then
were
you...
shoot-
Listen. I'm building up.
Look at these
Don't do
wild
what? Defend
standoffs.
myself from your vicious, nasty,
She's ready to hit that other woman.
Fuck off. Just
Shut up
fuck
for a
off.
second. I'm
I love from a government official. Fuck off. Just fuck off.
building up to something. Because when
Let's
I
hear
got
that
assaulted-
again. Now, it's some pure British anger right there.
Building up.
Don't do what? Defend
And she breaks into American. Listen, she's speaking in English, and then she breaks into American. Here we go. She English.
myself from your vicious, nasty misogyny.
So misogyny, some word in British, some other words in British, and then she breaks into American, where we can easily understand her.
Fuck off. Just
Shut up
fuck
for a
off.
second. I'm
Tell me we haven't improved their language with the addition of those 2 words, right? That combination of 2 words. Fuck the uniquely American.
building up to something. Because when I got assaulted for filming at an event,
No, you didn't get assaulted. You had
Yes, I
somebody.
did.
No, you did not.
So you had that, refute the charges right there. That's the playbook.
they attempted to punch me. That's assault. That's common assault.
They attempted to punch me. Well, that now sounds a bit. By nature, you said they attempted to. Now, unless what does they attempted to punch the mean? Like it's very now it's a word game.
They didn't.
And they
See, right? Smart. They've been doing this dance for a couple of years now. This is life. This person's chasing cash, in my opinion, by verbally abusing this member of their government.
tried to slap my
No,
phone out
you
my hand, so
didn't.
that's common assault.
For all I know, everything else about this member of their government could be things that we all despise. They could love every woke thing and be into like 11th generation feminism to the point that it's a little offensive to us. But because they don't 100% line up with this person, they could 99.9% line up with the person that is confronting them. This Sophia Brooks. They could 99% agree with them. They would still be treated like 100% the enemy has been what we've been seeing most of the time. and you gotta either let these people call 100% of the tune, or they'll say that you're 100% of the problem. They will not compromise.
No, he didn't. He
got
tapped your
convicted.
camera.
Mark Weisler got convicted.
I know he did, because you went running to the police like a little crybaby. People called the police because I was punched to the ground by people like you.
So, just stating what really happened, and let's see if she tries to refute it.
Well, obviously, it's all on film. The judge saw it. And
Stand by your story. You know what? Fuck you. There's a silent witness.
one of my assailants.
Oops. Sorry. Didn't mean to remove the video. Let me restore that. Sorry about that, folks. So Graham Linehan himself posted this to show the tactics of the abuser.
Angry.
As he would put them. Alleged abuser.
Yes, of course I am extremely angry. I always get angry at misogynists, at...
So she basically right here is, playing around, towing the line very well, calling this Sophia identifying individual. Right, yeah, except when that diversity doesn't go her way, right, Mr. House Party 6? My God, look at this. So she called Sophia a misogynist, clearly targeted language right there. She knows how to play the game, but it's still her opinion, right? So she has freedom of speech. She has not used like a slur or insult, like towing the line.
Nasty pig.
Go away.
You have...
I suggest
No,
the system go
you
away.
don't tell me what to do,
I suggest.
prick.
I just said.
Prick. I love it.
I just said suggest. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm suggesting it.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
not going.
You're not paying.
I'm not going.
You're not going. Okay.
you see the disappointment here that it's not going to be as viral or as crazy as the influencer wants to create it.
Then we can stand here.
Look, it's Tarquin. I know, he came out and he started filming me.
So I'm going to quote the member of parliament here. She goes, "Look, it's Tarquin." Now that this person identifies as Sophia, but they were once Tarquin, and she goes, he came out and he's filming
So
me.
I'm just filming him back. What are you doing, Cyrus? Such a prick. Right. I'm gonna...
Well, what you gonna do? So, such a prick. And what I love here is look at this, like gives no fucks British hobo. Just like they've got their can of beer, they've got their fucking cigarette. What did they call cigarettes in England again? And they just
Go now that your friend is here.
No. Are you going to carry on?
You just said that you're going to stand here. You're
I
going to stand
don't...
here as long as I do, I guess.
That's a bit ridiculous.
I'm not even filming you. Hold on.
and here comes security to sort of break this little
Maria, who's
social
fucking
media opportunity up.
I've got a newer phone and a power bank, so
You're boring
I'm
me
going to be here
now.
for hours.
And I got to agree, not the most exciting video there created by Sophia, a.k.a. Tarquin. Well, I don't know what to make of it, but you know what? It's very controversial. And, like, we're looking at this sort of a situation sort of starting to develop, here if we had maybe gone a different way back last November, about a year ago and a couple of weeks this time, if you know what I mean, like 54 weeks ago. Like that's how this like all gamed out in this country, that you had a choice between a world like this or a much more mundane world. I mean, think about that. That was a standoff over clout and cash on the streets of I believe London, where a member of parliament was confronted by this Sophia individual. You saw them, like the way they were dressed. That person wasn't really. I mean. Really, not dressed like any. That looked like someone you would see. That looked like a dude who liked metal. Now the face was mostly obscured by the camera the whole time, but I am glad that my gig is to mostly be anonymous, mostly go on here, and mostly give my opinions about products created by other people. Harvesting outrage in real time. When it comes to at the expense of someone like the creators of Father Ted, who made some of the funniest comedy of the 1990s, are proven to be of goodwill and, funny and tolerant, are at the point now where they can't take the kind of sensationalism and low level abuse that they're getting from these people. And, I would say maybe even breaking into medium level abuse from some of these people. And as you can see, this individual, Sophia, is like not to be put off. So England is a disaster. All right, there are a group of dangerous men who are determined to bully women and girls to misuse the courts and police in furtherance of a misogynistic agenda, was what Graham Linehan said. And guess what, guys? The incident I showed you where they slap, you can fuck you, you prick, and he slapped the phone out of the individual's hand. That was called an assault by the individual. The court dismissed it as harassment or assault. And it ended up being like they got in trouble for damaging the phone. That was what they got in trouble for. So basically, they touched someone else, or they broke someone else's property. They had to pay for the phone. What gold paper swaps out of LME? I don't know. Yeah, London Calling, exactly. I don't know. The root of that story was the Daily Mirror, but LME this was a member of parliament, so they were protecting themselves in their opinion. So he was convicted of criminal damage for throwing the phone to the ground on October 19th of 24. Fined £1,300, and is expected to appeal. So outside the court, they said, "I'm proud to have stood up to them, and I will continue to do so." And then he made the statement about the group of dangerous men. Linehan thanked the Free Speech Union. I don't know much about this group, but they're concerned about it. But they give unwavering support to Linehan for protecting all those who speak out against, quote, dangerous activists, as they call it. The judge said she was not satisfied Linehan's conduct amounted to harassment, or that the complainant was as distressed as claimed. Noted the complainant was not truthful. Very important here in the appeal. So judge ruled Linehan's comments were deeply unpleasant, insulting, and even unnecessary. I didn't necessarily agree that when they came up and went and confronted him like that, but not oppressive or unacceptable beyond merely unattractive, annoying, or irritating. Fair enough. You have the right to talk, your mind. Linehan describes Sophia as a young soldier in the trans activist army and said he was misogynistic, he was abusive, he was snide. He depended upon his anonymity to get close to people and to hurt them. And I wanted to destroy that anonymity, said Linehan. When asked why he threw the phone, he said, look, my adrenaline was up. I was angry. My adrenaline was up. I was angry. I guess that feels like surrender. So I threw it away. I didn't slam it. I just skimmed it. It was instinctive. As soon as I did it, I thought it was a mistake. So owning it here, much more than the other people in this situation. So defense barrister Sarah Vine, KC, argued that the court would take a conservative approach towards the reading of hostility and that people in the gender identity debate must be allowed to use language that properly expresses their views without fear of excessive state interference. Witness Julia Bindle described Sophia's behaviour as very menacing, getting in your face with the phone, and saw Linehan make a sweeping motion after repeatedly telling Sophia to stop. And that's what we saw. Now, the background is separate police investigation into Linehan for alleged incitement of violence was dropped last month. He got arrested by armed cops, which is kind of a BFD over there. At Heathrow, he ended up in the hospital for the stress. The guy was pretty old, as we saw. He was like 70. And he plans to sue the police. So lawsuits flying either way. Sophia Brooks, a.k.a. Tarquin, and I forget their social media handle. It's not going on into my feed. They're now 18, trans activists notorious for their aggressive in-person tactics against gender-critical people. At events, including releasing thousands. Listen to this one. They released thousands of live crickets into a 2024 LGB compliance conference and the court described that as a homophobic attack. So they've got really, really terrible record themselves. Infiltrating a woman's rights gathering while posing as female detransitioner. Filming people at close range with these in-your-face intimidation videos we saw. Repeatedly attending and disrupting feminist talks. And so that's a big deal. And critical gender talks are some kind of thing that's taken off in England. I don't know a whole lot about it. I'm only learning about this from you guys, because this is like the weird core motivation that's driving the people making some of these dumb stories. This is like, believe it or not, context for the Acolyte story. Linehan frames the actions as part of a misogynistic agenda by dangerous men misusing the courts. The Free Speech Union, which backed him, worried the phone damage ruling signals to far left activists that the green light to escalate this. They have a green light to escalate this behavior. Now, I guess they would be ascribed to the left, but remember he's speaking in England, so slightly different contexts there. But yeah, certainly, like I don't think this. What is the right of that community? The ones that want to go like join ISIS? Because we've seen a couple that did. Brooks counters that gender-critical figures like Linehan incite obsession, and vexatious reports against them, including a February 2025 arrest at her home by armed cops, spurred by a complaint. And the judge emphasized the court isn't picking a side in this debate that's going to keep going on in England, focusing only on legal thresholds. This feud highlights the UK trans versus gender critical activism, with Brooks seen by supporters as like some kind of brave fighter, and they're still a teenager, right? And by critics as a provocative infiltrator. Like, that's the thing. They don't have any wisdom, all right? They don't have any wisdom. So that's the kind of audience we're looking for the Acolyte. Screamy, sort of like very confrontational, more or less like, I guess angry is the word, right? Is there another word? Is there a better word? Angry would seem to be the word. And certainly like an entitlement to be answered here where, you know, certainly you have the right to just say, you know, F off, which this woman did a couple of times. So what are you going to do? Don't worry about it. London Mercantile Exchange, thank you. I didn't know what that meant. Thank you. I don't know what the commodities market's like over there. I don't know what their economy's like over there. I only know what Az says, right? But, you know, speaking in the world of strange plastic surgery, did you see that there's a Scrubs reunion? The Scrubs reunion might be more interesting than the fact that the Acolyte creator has blamed you, me, and all of us for whatever the hell they say went wrong. Now, I don't know if these are... I'm trying to find pictures from the reunion photographs, and I think this is it. And, all right, I guess I have to watch the whole thing. I will write out the commercial for you, sirs and madams, because that's how great of a guy I am. But you know what? I'm going to show you the Scrubs cast now. Most everybody looks okay, but of course, that's Hollywood, baby, right? So, a couple of people may have gone a little bit too far in a few places. This seems to be an interview with just the male cast members. I'll give you a little taste, right? So here's the male cast members. They look the way they look. Let me give you a little taste. Here it comes. Sorry, guys. I'm just hunting down the screen sharing options. They didn't change that much of what goes on here at YouTube on StreamYards this week, but it all piles up, and after a while, you become a bit of a mess. And welcome, buddy. It's good to see you, and thanks for being here. It's great to see you, my friend. A little bit of a surprise that Admiral actually showed up more or less on time on Sunday. I'm sorry, on Tuesday. See, even I forgot what day it was. I was up for work like 19 hours ago, and so that ended at 3, and I like crashed out on my couch all day. And when I woke up, I said, Sir, you should go live tonight just for the hell of it and see what happens. And talk to people about the idea that maybe the Friday afternoon show should be, would you guys want a member stream in the spirit of the last one? Because I can make that happen for you. And we can all hang out. We could start maybe at like 4. If I can get Northern English Bastard, I will, because he has a series of Bond stuff going on. And then I could just open up the chat later. All right. So here she comes. All right. So Sarah Chalk. I think she may have gone a bit too far in a few places. In the video, they take the camera right off her. All right. Profile, you can't tell. She looks fine, but not looking like one of the Connors that much anymore. From this angle, it doesn't look too bad, but she had some very, like, when you look at her straight on, there's a vinylization that has happened to her face that I don't know how to describe it. As you can see, though, they got everybody back. John C. McGinley, the man. Like, I love that at least we're going to have someone bring grumpiness back. And you know what? Like, I guess Sarah Chalk, she was funny, but, like, not the biggest part of the show. It is an ensemble cast, so I guess everyone got equal screen time. And, like, we do care more about him than we do about her because he was this guy doing zingers, and we always could have gotten another person who was, like, you know, the butt of the jokes, the straight man person. Hey, Mr. Angel, welcome. I was up damn early here, so I hope that bring you some entertainment. You know what? I had some coffee not too long ago getting my head together for this show, and I woke up from waking up at 4 o'clock this morning to go to my job, where I said to myself, Sir, you have to stop walking down streets that look like they're from Batman 1989. So, look, whatever. Like, everybody from Scrubs got a little bit of plastic surgery, but here she looks fine. But in the actual video, the actual commercial, Sarah Chalk looking, whoa, real weird and totally clowny faced. I'm gonna see if I can't find some better video for you. The Scrubs actual trailer, I guess, is the way to go. They're walking down the hallway towards you, and they're sort of like vamping and singing. And the way that she looks now, it's like she may have had one too many or a little bit too radical plastic surgery, or she just always had these really high cheekbones, and doing anything to her whatsoever made her look really clowny faced. Guys, I can't find it here. Maybe, but you know what? It would be great if I was just wrong about this one, because she looked fucking weird. In their actual video, she actually looked really, really weird. So anyway, let's move on to one of our topics that everyone here always loves. Let's get into Landman at 51 minutes into our show. Landman is the source of a lot of controversies. Sirs and madams, it is very controversial indeed what's going on with Landman. Here's what they're saying. All the female characters are really, really terrible. And that, you know what? They're all mean. They're all shallow. And they're all facile. To which I say, who's our admirable male character? Who's our admirable male character? Cooper, last season, case to be made, he was pretty admirable. Okay, he's pretty admirable. He does do all the right things, but as soon as like that stuff with Ariana gets out of hand, like there's a case to be made. He's in on it. You know, he's part of his own problem. You're in for that. Scrubs could still be funny, but she looks so weird, right, buddy? In the trailer, did she look a little vinyl and a little clowny faced, like she couldn't not smile, like she'd had like a really serious facelift? And that's upsetting to me because, like, Sarah Chalk is significantly younger than me. She's, like, still she's still got a lot of time left before she gets anywhere near 50. Like, why she would do that is beyond me. Or her face was just frozen. Landman Billy Bob Thornton kind of isn't admirable. He's fun to watch. I said today, these are the most fun to watch terrible people I've ever come across in my life. And I stand by that. You cannot take your eyes off of these characters. The way they behave is so improper, sirs and madams. It is very controversial indeed when Cooper takes up with Ariana. Ariana is... Well, let's reverse engineer this. Cooper is the son of our main landman, Tommy. And I can see what we really need is some landman images to power this along. That's what you want. Do you guys want to see pictures of some hot chicks? Landman has that. All right, let's talk Landman characters. We have a whole video on this one, but you know what? I've got some Landman characters for you, and I think I have pictures I can show you of Cooper. Trying to find him. Where the hell did my Cooper pictures go? All right. I got my Cooper picture, but I would much prefer to show you our picture of Ariana. is the right thing to do just to show the video. All right, look, here's Cooper. I'll show you him for the moment. Cooper's deal is he mostly does the right thing last season, but major departures from normality, right? Like, he's 6 weeks from graduating college, so the show has him leave school. Now, I'm not going to make a case that everyone needs to go to college, but if you are 6 weeks from graduating, just finish it. Like, he's so smart. The fact that he was doing great and had great grades, it's not even implied. It seems to be the thing, right? He didn't leave because he had to leave because he had like a wild senior year. And by the way, your final year, your BA, is usually the easiest. College, like, fastballs you the hardest stuff up front. While this seems counterintuitive, it makes sense financially because if you can't get it, you can't get it. Would it make more sense to build you up to the failure and see if you could do it? You might save 15% of the people who don't make the cut. So that's Cooper. Let's get some video so you can see Ariana. In episode 1, we had a pretty fun time with everybody, but it was basically pretty darn close to downfall-like craziness from some of our characters, and I wish I could find a few more Landman pictures, but here we go. I have the shorter Landman video. Or maybe not. Nope, this is the longer discussion. Listen, here's the deal. Cooper mostly does the right thing, but once he gets wrapped up with Ariana, there's no case to be made for his behavior anymore, right? So, he's a season 1 morally correct character. In season 2, he's being a douchebag like everybody else. He's not cool. He's not doing anything the right way. And he's sort of hooked on himself. He is involved with Ariana. Okay, and the sausage party with Ariana. Here she is. She is beautiful. She is desirable. And now her halter top has become a belly shirt halter top because she has really whipped herself into shape in the 2 more weeks that have seemingly passed between season 1 and season 2. Maybe it's 3 months. Her infant is not a toddler yet. Maybe it's 4 months, but not a shitload of time has passed. This character has lost her husband and within a few days moves on. It's really weird, but the circumstances are her husband's family abandons her, leaves her to her own devices, and here's what she looks like in real life. Leaves her to her own devices, and they don't help her with any of the stuff that comes with losing someone in this business. Like, she has all sorts of forms to fill out. She has settlements in the state. She has to make decisions on what to keep, what to sell, how not to go bankrupt, how to survive. All of this insanity and, nipping at her heels is, impending legal doom. And, people like Rebecca Falcone, and who's another female character. Now, this is the criticism. All of the female characters are horrible. Rebecca is the most horrible character in the show on watchability. On how her personality goes, she's only as bad as everyone else. This is a show about horrible people. You like Cooper so far, he's better off without the boat anchor. I haven't seen the first season. All right, here's the deal. In season 1, Cooper is on a track to graduate when he shows up at the beginning of the show. He has dropped out of school in his senior year with weeks to go. We find out it's pre-June, right, from Sam Elliott, who it's only a few months later, but he is weeks away, even if he's a semester away from finishing. He's just about done with his BA. And he's like, I don't care anymore. I don't want to teach geology. I want to go out there and make my landman money. So he's not that smart in his decision making, but he seems true-hearted. Everyone hates Rebecca. A couple of people are saying maybe she tanks the show. Might be why she wasn't in episode 1, and she didn't exactly get double time in episode 2, but she was twice as evil. They mixed her with Ainsley and with Angela to like just give us a full dose of all these sort of nebulous people at once. They're not the nicest human beings. They're just not. They're not cool. They don't have any empathy for each other. Ariana is a good person who kind of has ensnared Cooper in her grief spiral. She is making one terrible decision after another, Ariana, while she's in her grief spiral. And Rebecca comes on the scene to investigate a plane crash. The plane crash kind of goes away, and the problem then becomes that there's all sorts of other liability problems that the insurance company that sent Rebecca wants to have cleared up while they check out Monty. Monty is leveling up quick and coming under a lot more scrutiny because he's moving up in the world of oil-producing companies or whatever you want to call it. And guys, hit the like and follow for me. I could use some help. And we got votes going on. People are looking for the holiday-themed video. You know what? There's a good shot of it. I think that the holiday-themed video might be the way to go. So while she's having her grief thing going on, and just to give an idea, now I know people do not like Rebecca, but maybe let me introduce you to Kayla, who plays Rebecca. She's a good actress. Look, as Rebecca in real life. In real life, she's gorgeous. She seems kind of approachable, and she's having a fun time at the premiere where I guess there were drinks and other stuff too, but I'm not saying she's tanked up here. I'm saying she's having a good time in a laid-back environment. Here she is in character. I don't know if I would say hard to believe it's the same person, but good acting, affectating a different character, affectating a different way to act. Remember, an antagonist in a show that pisses you off is intensely is a sign of good acting. If she does. Yeah, I agree. I think she's a good actress, and I think this character was well conceived to be antagonistic. But then again, she was brought in by Monty, who is not that great of a person, and the only reason I think Tommy praised him and other people were praising him is because he's dead. Like, and it's guarded praise. Like, what did Tommy say? He says to Demi Moore, he's like, Monty wasn't a scumbag, but he was pretty ruthless. And she's like, I don't care. I'm ready to go for this one. And, as far as Demi Moore goes, that female character, what's wrong with Cammy? Cammy loved Monty, so there's no problem there. Cammy is trying to run the company, so she could be called powerful, right? And also, Cammy is inheriting problems that were left behind by Monty. She's not the one who got this large insurance settlement and didn't hang on to it the right way. I'm going to see if I can't find a picture of Demi Moore in character. There's not a huge difference, though. What you get is Demi Moore. However, Demi Moore, a hell of an actress, can still bring it. This is what Demi Moore looks like now. Last week, we wished her a happy 63rd birthday. I wouldn't be too depressed going home to her as a 63-year-old guy, and that's my wife. I feel all right about life in comparison. I don't think that's her natural hair color, and I think she shouldn't stand too close to the radiator. I think that not all of her is 63, but you know what? Looking good. Let's give it to her. Let's bring back Kayla, though. I won't call Demi Moore Skeletor like Germ did, but you know what? There is something to be said for Kayla looking maybe a little better, okay? So Kayla Wallace, great actress in this situation. She is very provocative. Now, if she is so bad that she's turning people off to the show, that might be a problem. I know that Landman 1 did so much better than Landman 2. Also in there, we have Angela. Angela is Tommy's first wife. She is now calling herself his wife again. Her marriage is over. She signed it away. It ended like in moments with a stroke of a pen at her old mansion. and her old husband, like her second husband, I guess, whoever she was married to, he builds hotels. He was portrayed as being like a Trump-like mogul, right? So he had dumped her. He's got this 18-year-old who looks like Sophie Marceau from Braveheart. So he's moved on hardcore. And he has his lawyers deal with her. They enact a prenup. She's gone. There doesn't even seem to be a need to have a divorce court. It's just over on his terms. So she gets to keep her Bentley. She gets to keep a bunch of jewelry. She comes out of it with, I don't know, a couple of $1,000,000. But what she's really going to do is now Tommy's going to start supporting her. And she has a little meltdown over Ainsley going to college saying, I'm going to live near my baby. My baby is going to TCU and I'm going to live near my baby. And it's like she wants a house. She just wants a house. It's really, it's messed up. She's really selfish for wanting it, and she's going to pull it off. And I made a video essay.
Buddy, it's your buddy.
Watch. But let me just turn off that sound and show you a little bit of the quality of the video essay. Some of you, there's a problem with YouTube discoverability. About 175 people have watched this, if I remember correctly. 40 or 50 joined the channel. So at that point, YouTube took that as a sign to stop showing it to people because it was succeeding. Welcome here. As you can see, here's a series of a well-edited video essay compliant with YouTube terms of service. It's not too herky-jerky, in under 5-second clips so that they can be common use. That's the law. That's the only way to keep this from getting thrown back in your face and losing your channel. So, here you can see Demi Moore making a power move from episode 1, and she just slaps everyone down. And I don't know how she's bad. Maybe Teague knows.
Career. When she's on screen, she's a powerful presence, showing range, playing a character that's unlike most of her other roles. This is a widow taking control scene as strong and profane as the one we see over the control of Pepsi in the classic movie Mommy Dearest.
Classic movie, Mommy Dearest. By the way, we haven't reached the point in my video where the commercial plays yet. There's only one commercial when I make a video more than 8 minutes long. If it's like 30 minutes or something, maybe there'll be more. But the thing is, the first commercial, not for at least not for like 6 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes. I'll try to keep it to one commercial. Sometimes just an organic place earlier that makes sense for the commercial not to destroy your brain, right? Because the commercial can't be brain destroying and come mid-sentence. On my live shows, when I re-upload them, it's like one commercial in the first 20 minutes and then like about one an hour. If it's a 3-hour show, maybe I'll have 4 commercials. I go light on the commercials, and here, live with me, there won't be commercials. If there are commercials, it's because YouTube has not surrendered control of the monetization of the stream to me yet to take them out and to defang that. YouTube puts in like 67 commercials. It's like a 1-to-1 ratio of watching to commercial time. So yeah, I got rid of that for you. I want to engage with you. I don't want you to watch commercials. I want to engage with you. You're generous enough to me. You treat me really well. I don't have to beat you up with commercials. I give you content you can enjoy. You don't have to keep hitting that fast forward button. Also, people like Mr. House Party 6 and people in my community, people who help me out, you give me the means to afford the software to make these videos, to take our message of what good entertainment is. And you know what? Some of the stuff here, like how is Demi Moore evil here? In her movie Disclosure, she tries to fillet Michael Douglas. And like he's her age now then in that movie, and she's like 31 and looking smoking hot. And as you can see here, like she's got that permanently surprised look. I think her eyes always are popped open about that wide. But Demi Moore, enormously well preserved, and she's pretty powerful. I didn't leave in her dialogue, but she's like, don't fuck with me. If you sleep on me, I'll take your money. The only problem I had with this scene was they didn't tell us exactly who she's talking to. And, it's like she was pretty strong as any man. I mean, like, you know what, George? Did she tell a story well?
Carthaginians defending the city were attacked by 3 Roman legions. Arab women stripped them of their tunics and their swords and lances. The soldiers lay naked in the sun. 2,000 years ago, I was here. Well, this match will not be postponed.
So I spent a lot of time talking praisefully about Demi Moore, but I guess in episode 2, where she's only in it for a couple of minutes, but is independent and does show agency and is effective at being a rich person. So I really don't get the complaining on this one. And Buddy Hepburn says, "Sir," for the Patton emoji. You gotta love Patton, right? Who doesn't love Patton? The other channel, at Space Patton, Saving Star Trek, is out there too. Sometimes the watch parties are there when Jerm can't do it. Enjoy your lunch that I paid for with your money. Yeah, the dead man. This was an amazing scene. And she doesn't say it that nicely. She goes, enjoy your lunch. I paid for it with your fucking money. And she's got a different voice than we've ever heard come out of Demi Moore. She's from that region. Maybe she's not acting for the first time, or she's acting hardcore, because she's got this like Southern Arizona-ish kind of accent that fits being a Texan. I really liked her moment of power here. I enjoyed Cammie's flex. She was flexing on people who all deserved it. There was no nice people in the room where she was being strong. She was like, back off. Don't fuck with me. Don't think I'm weak because my husband is dead. And I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. You sleep on me, I'll take your shit. You lie to me, I will nail you to the wall. You think that you can freeze me out? I'll buy your distribution rights and you'll be stuck with oil you can't sell. Market goes low, I'll manipulate that shit. Don't fuck with me, fellas. It was like if you ever saw Mommy Dearest when Faye Dunaway's husband dies, they're like, at the Pepsi board meeting, they're going to buy her out. And one of the reasons they're going to buy her out is because her husband actually was broke. And she claims not to have known it. And maybe she didn't, but she broke him. They tell her at the board meeting, well, in the last few years of his life since meeting you, our owner completely changed his way. Mr. Frito-Lay went fucking nuts, and he spent like 10 times more money than he had, and you leveraged all his shares, and you don't really own shit except debt, and we'll take care of that if you just go away. And she kind of looks them down, and there's a face down, as I call it. And she's facing them, they're facing her, they're facing each other, they're facing each other down. It's primal. And she looks at them, and there's a moment, and what they say in acting is a beat goes by, like a heartbeat. And then she slams both hands on the table, stands up and screams, "Don't fuck with me, fellas! I slew bigger monsters than you in Hollywood for years." And they're like, huh? And these are the guys who ran Pepsi circa like 1967. And they're not ready for this insane force of nature who comes just exploding at them. And she's like, I'm keeping all these shares. You're going to leave me in control. If I don't know nothing, guess what? You're going to pay me to be like pretend president. You're going to give me a mansion. You're going to give me money. And I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. Or I'll go right out that door right now to the press and tell them of how you destroyed the poor grieving widow before the body was cold. And they're like, holy shit, all right, fine, you can have what you want. So Cammie pulls something even more powerful than that, because she's not even threatening to ruin people's reputation. She's like, I'll fucking bankrupt you. I'll get your distribution rights. I'll buy your land claims. She's on, yeah, I'll drink your milkshake. Exactly, Radioactive. It's like exactly like Daniel Plainview does at the end of There Will Be Blood. Where it's just like, the expression was, if you have a milkshake and I have a milkshake, but my straw is longer than yours, I'm going to drink your milkshake. And it was about the chase for oil and how you could drill sideways into someone else's claim, something Monty was a specialist at, except now we found out that he was only a specialist at getting the surface oil. He owns a ton of oil that's deeper down, but he needs a fresh influx of money to get at it. Guess what? The shallow water horizon went down, and he kept the money. He used it to get his oil field producing again. But the insurance company's trying to call the note. Cammie outmaneuvers them in episode 2. So I'm at a loss to know what she did wrong. Teag, tell me what happened.
Even more territorial. Cooper, Tommy's son, is still with Ariana. Their luck has dramatically improved between.
You like how I got that for you? I get the important moments you want. Let's watch that transition again.
This is a widow taking control scene as strong and profane as the one we see over the control of Pepsi in the classic movie Mommy Dearest. By the time she's done, Cammy has so stunned her audience they basically need to be scraped off the ceiling. It's a strong sequence that sets up Season 2's M-Tech's corporate dynamic by showing Cammy as firmly in charge. While she's ready to trust Monty's final moves and leave Tommy as president, she sees a place for herself day to day, making
day to day
deals and watching every drop of oil just as closely as Monty had and being even more territorial.
Yeah, because she's on the spot because she's a woman. So then we talk about Cooper. And I look at the transition to Ariana. This was the moment I think you wanted me to focus on here. So this is Ariana. That baby, like you could say, is, like I said, it's still in the crib. I guess the clothes hanging on the wall indicate to us that it's got toddler potential, maybe? I don't know. Maybe we'll see the kid taking his first steps. It's crying and out of sight. When we see it, it's wrapped in a blanket. We don't have a lot of... We got proof of life that she has a baby, but we ain't seeing that baby so much just yet. But, oops, sorry. So Ariana's doing her thing. And her and Cooper are basically struck it rich. She's gone 6 for 6 on the well strikes. And he now his problem is how to spend like $60 million a year. Potentially, based on what Marty, his head of rigging and operations, does for him. I can't call him a head of rigging with a hard R, or YouTube might ban me. You never know. Arnie, are they out to get me? Are they out to get me, Arnie?
You asshole.
Oh, come on. Harrison, do you think they're out to get me?
I don't care.
You could be a little more invested in this show. You've been with it for a while, Harrison. You've been with this show since day one. Start showing a little agency. So here's Michelle Randolph. She plays Ainsley. Ainsley is 18. Michelle Randolph's 30. Don't worry about it. She's hot. Just enjoy how good looking she is. She is one of the most selfish and horrible characters in the world, but she is fun to watch being beautiful. She ends up going more than a bit too far in a few places. I'm sorry, Rob writes Gen X pop culture, but Ainsley's going to TCU to be a horn-toed cheerleader, and well, she has a few ideas that maybe Teag could explain it to us. Teag, tell us what happens.
The only thing required of Ainsley is to drop by the guidance counselor's office, say hello, and accept her spot in the incoming freshman class. However, while she's there, she becomes nervous and makes a classic mistake, speaking 100% of her mind. With absolutely no prefacing whatsoever, she goes more than just a little bit too far with answering the question, "So, what makes you want to go here?" Instead of just saying she wants a prestigious degree or loves their beautiful campus, Ainsley goes on a wild and hilarious rant that would have played very well in mid-20th century Germany. She shocks and disgusts the guidance counselor and all of us with her strongly held and spot-on fact-free embrace of what amounts to social Darwinism, a 19th century concept.
Wow, that Teag guy's pretty smart. I should watch more of his videos. This woman was absolutely horrified with Ainsley. Let's put Kayla back up there for a minute. We've got beautiful women, and they're all pretty evil. Well, what about our male characters? I mean, let's not forget evil Angela. Maybe Angela has a shirt that merits her staying in the studio. Amongst our male characters, I don't know. You're going to be here a long time waiting for any kind of prince to show up among these horror story individuals. They are not fun people. The landmen people, they are amazing to watch. You cannot take your eyes off of them. They are amazing to watch. They are the worst people in the world, though. They are mean. They are petty. They are super selfish. They are shallow. They are just like these three douchebags. Two of them are in jail, and one of them is hated by the whole community for dating the widow. These are Elvio, Ariana's ex-husband, well, dead husband's cousins. They didn't help her out when she was in trouble. Only Cooper would help her out. And then they come over there and they're like, you better not come around here no more talking to her, which kind of makes sense. But this guy ends up on the left. I believe his name is Manuel. 30 fucking years is what Tommy tells him he's going to do. I don't know what to tell you about this one. They were just absolutely insane. And like, Tommy can ruin your life. He can make you go away, easily make you go away to prison for extended periods of time. So, Demi Moore's character certainly beating those guys cold, just beating the shit out of them as far as a person goes. By the way, Ainsley, this is her from 1923. Michelle Randolph is a really good actress. She happens to be drop dead gorgeous and the focus of the show Landman's like roving female eye. She also happens to be an extremely talented actress.
It's a hilarious and
this is the same. That's the same chick. Look,
exposition.
Look at Ainsley. You can only tell when I do it like that because Ainsley and Michelle Randolph's character Liz in 1923 are nothing the same. They got nothing in common. And she's really different in her mannerisms and her actions and the voice she puts on. And we're seeing a cadre of really good young new actors come up here who know how to behave. They're being mentored by the best in the business as far as how to not be a crazy douchebag in public these days. There was a time when Billy Bob Thornton was a weirdo, and you still don't want to take fashion advice from him, but he's not running around with a vial of blood around his neck anymore. At least I hope not. God, I hope not. Yeah, Nate is a good guy. He's actually okay. He's a shark, but yes, he is a good guy. Nate is okay. He's a lawyer, but I don't know whether he thinks it's important for MTEX to have a good rep to get things done, or he himself just feels it's important for him to do the right thing. But he does the right thing as Nate. Dale is head of all rigging operations for the entire company. Nathan, Dale, and Tommy share the same rent house, as it's called. It's just a house in a development. When they're all done, everyone will move out, and the house will be cleaned up really deeply, because now it's also got to have an exorcism. Because Angela and Ainsley have lived there. But you're going to sell that house to someone else, and everyone moves on. But it's like a good middle-class house. Like, it's pretty big. It's like a rich middle-class family would live there. It's got a couple of master bedrooms. Dale lives in, like, the whole basement. And, like, everyone's pretty happy till Angela shows up. And you can see how she acts. She's a lot of fun. But, I mean, look at these guys crawling on the floor, running away from her, letting her run wild. What are they doing that's admirable? It's a show about nouveau riche people who cannot... Like, money doesn't buy class. I ain't got no money. I'm classier than these fucking weirdos from this show. But watch Angela lose it. Watch Allie Larder's insane breakdown. When she goes nuts, she's able to make her face spasm on one side. It's on our right. Watch the left side of her right side of our screens. That cheek. It starts going just a little. She's able to do like this nuts twitch. She is so good now as this character. Her acting is fine. Like, what, you don't like a female lead getting paid good money to be in a show that people like to watch? Landman has weight. Landman is enjoyable. People show up to watch it. It's got charm. Here's Sam Elliott making his grand entrance into the show. Tommy is an incredible character that you could only hope to have in a show. He seems to be in this wheelchair probably mostly because Sam Elliott is now kind of like not too mobile. Sam has been a good actor, great actor for a really long time, but he's now also really old. Couple more people coming through. Did I miss saying hi to anybody? If you're out there, say hello. What kind of video should Teag make tomorrow? Tomorrow, Teag should make 44% believe holiday themed, 22% believe a Landman video, only 11% want Star Trek United. And like the stream, see the results, 22%. How many of you want a member stream on Friday during the day? We'll do this one like in the afternoonish, maybe evening East Coast, sometime in there. Maybe we'll do a little of both. I'll do a member stream and then I'll do a show. I don't know. It's a feel thing. The numbers last month were great. And that's even with us getting rid of high-performing legacy things that just didn't represent the channel anymore. I have cleaned off a lot of the old watch parties. We still provide opportunities and ways to watch. You got to pay a little more attention. We got persecuted for the copyrighted material in ways you wouldn't believe. And we didn't break any YouTube rules ever. Okay? This video is fair use, the one I created. I make video essays for a lot of the Star Trek shows, and last time with Taylor Sheridan every episode. It seems like the video essay audience just isn't there for Taylor Sheridan. It's not a video essay crowd. Landman Live has blown it up both weeks, though, with Landman Live 1 having like 25 concurrents at one point and doing something like 2,100 views in the 8-9 days since it aired. It did really, really well. Here's some stuff from episode 2 where he's acting nuts too. This is still episode 1 stuff. Here's his Cattleman's Club, $100 for a pack of cigarettes. He just easy come, easy goes. Did any wonder this guy went broke once already? Just quit smoking, asshole. Why are you getting rich in the first place if you're just going to die young from smoking? He really does have some strange beliefs. He believes you can smoke all you want as long as you don't eat cereal or Pop-Tarts. He's elaborated this a couple of times. Yeah, you know what? The wolf did nothing. Are you talking about the Joker wolf from that video essay? I'm really proud of the Joker wolf video essay. I believe it's episode 2 of 1923. That's a video essay for every episode of 1923. The interest wasn't as high as I needed it to be to spend that kind of time, hour to hour. I'm going to try to crank out 2 this week. I think I'm going to take your suggestion. I have a holiday video that I can perfect and re-upload. It didn't do as well as it needed to do. We can see about that one, and we can enhance that one because my skills have doubled since I made last year's holiday video, and I can make one that's twice as good now. Look at my new video essay level. No perspective shifts. No changing of the perspective. Everything's solid. Everything the same. Everything the way you want it in a video essay. I've managed to get onto uniformity. And there's your thumbnail. And I've managed to bring you a Landman essay that you can enjoy. This one, I managed to get everything in there. And you know what? I even managed to find a cool way to begin it. I don't know. I'm proud of this beginning. Check this out for 1 second. Hey everybody, it's your buddy Admiral Teag. Taylor Sheridan's Landman starring Billy Bob Thornton has returned for season 2 with a... I hope you like that. But yeah, you know what? Nothing like an explosion and a car wreck and like some pounding drums to open it up there, right? I'm sorry if that was a little bit on the Alex Kurtzman side. I couldn't help myself. I needed to use their most dramatic footage. But you know what? I wanted to capture people's attention, and for that, YouTube gave me just a mere handful of impressions. Here's our problem. This show is not getting a lot of publicity. I might be 1% of its total publicity. I might be getting 1% of all traction, and I might have 15% of all YouTube on this, because on the Paramount channel. There are hundreds of thousands of subs. We don't know the veracity of it. We can't test it. On the Landman Reddit, it hasn't taken off. That Reddit has not been publicized well enough. Plus, Reddit is well and good dead outside of Star Trek. But it hasn't I haven't been able to find the impressions for it outside of YouTube. And I'll be damned, if YouTube isn't going to show people, well, people just won't see it. I did my best on this one. I told you the story of episode 1 as best I could. I'm ready to do one for episode 2. There's a holiday one coming tomorrow about the banking scheme at the center of It's a Wonderful Life. I think that's what we're going to do. Or we could go after Year Without a Santa Claus. I have a fucking hard-on for that one, too. I really don't like Year Without a Santa Claus. I think it's like below par. There's John Hamm's Monty, who left his wife in a bad way without actually taking off while she was preggers. And here's the other women being a bitch to her, where she shows strength and fortitude, giving one of the best performances of her fucking career. Yet somehow she did something wrong. I don't know why we're supposed to think that Demi Moore's character is part of the problem. What, is it because she was mostly absent from episode 2 and we only saw her getting maybe yelled at and protected by men? It's because the only strong woman in the episode had to be protected by men. What happens is someone shows up out of somewhere and goes, "Hey lady, I got something for you," and whips out this package. It's like an envelope. She has 2 big dudes who are security jump out of this SUV, throw him to the ground, and take the envelope away from him. It's that she's the owner of an oil company. It drills for oil. She has enemies. We saw what happened to that healthcare CEO in Manhattan. So I think it's because the only strong woman in episode 2 had to be protected by men that they said, you know what? He didn't pass the Bechdel test. We're going to, we don't have 2 women talking about something other than man. When she talks about her own interests, she talks about it to a man. We have women talking about things that are powerful, but like when Ariana's being pretty strong before she goes asshole on Cooper, she's having her strong conversation about things that don't involve romance with her romantic partner. She's talking to a man. It's the Bechdel test is 2 women have to have a conversation that advances the movie or 2 women have to have a conversation in your movie that doesn't involve a man. It doesn't involve them talking about a man. And here she is off to TCU where she just acts like a total asshole. Guys, what can I tell you? Ainsley doesn't know what she's doing. She's an idiot. She's also being called out as by the woke weirdos as the show being problematic because it has a character like Ainsley. I'm saying these characters mirror people that we see in real life. This woman was enormously sympathetic. I liked her. I thought she was as cool as could be. We have seen so many strong women from Taylor Sheridan. Let's take it back a little bit as we look at a particularly notoriously weak group of gentlemen there. Isabel May's character from 1883 was the epitome of strength. We saw this character take a believable growth arc, and this show has not and Landman is not over yet. There's still plenty of time to rescue these characters, and I don't even necessarily think they have to be rescued, but for them to have their moments of redemption. And you know what? Not every female character we've seen has been evil. There's a couple who are good as well. Angela has been presented as unambiguously terrible human being. At the same time, she does have scattered good traits. She breaks off the nonstop attack on her husband when she finds out that he's just found out about the death of his mother. She starts acting somewhat less horrific towards Landman when we find out that things have gone absolutely horrible for him. And she tries to have some feelings for her son when things are going absolutely horrible for him. Does she do well in any of it? Absolutely, totally not. But, trying. She's nice to the old people. She has some redemptive moments. You know what? Ainsley has been so poorly raised by Angela, she can't have a redemptive moment. Taylor Sheridan doesn't care about your test. He doesn't care about your book. He's set until 2035. He's going to do whatever he wants, and Paramount Plus is just going to show it to us, and people are just going to watch it. 5.7 million people watched week 1. How many hours they watched? Minutes? I didn't apprise myself of that one. You know what? I'm going to see this through because it's a good story, not because it's trending so high. In fact, Paramount Plus doing a terrible job of publicizing their show, leaving me holding the bag in several ways. What can I tell you? Is it cool? No. Do they do it to me anyway? What can I tell you? You know, it's not we don't live in cool world. Admiral Teag gets screwed over all the time just because he's Admiral Teag. It happens. You know what? When I decided to play baseball, I knew I would get hit with a few inside pitches. It's the way it goes. I can only complain so much, but believe me, I can complain. Let's get Tommy up there. Tommy is basically his ex-wife and him start off their reunion adulterously, albeit with her husband knowing that she's no good and, you know, knowing where she came from and like already being ready to pull the trigger on getting rid of her. So maybe she sensed her moment. The show gives us a chance to say maybe she like saw which way the wind was blowing and jumped. But, you know, she has been a terrible parent. The only thing that explains why Cooper would ever think that it was a good idea to get it with Ariana is that when we see Ariana with her child, she's very tender to her child, and everything she does is very warm. And, you know, we see her being loving and cradling the child, and and we can't, like, if anyone cradled Ainsley and Cooper, it was a fucking au pair. There's no way Angela will let these children breastfeed. Not that I'm getting into like how like to live your life or raise your children, but I'm just sure like her like 100% cosmetic and like comfort based decision was fuck you. I ain't gonna mess up my butt for no children unless there was some kind of surgery promised ahead of time. Like I don't know. Like Angela is one of the worst people in the show, but like Tommy's not so great. He's a piece of shit. It's just that they're all really interesting to watch. Teague, tell us a little more about it. Why are we seeing these notably historical gentlemen?
DCU now has one of the dumbest and most naturally evil cheerleaders this side of a 90s Natasha Lyonne movie. Go Horn Toads. Ainsley is a frighteningly ignorant person with the potential for some real evil. Tommy's insane former ex.
Ainsley is only at TCU to look for financially liable, on the hook to subsidize her lifestyle ex-husband number one. That's it. That is the only reason she's there. My pal Radioactive has said a couple of times she's looking for her MRS degree. I got to agree. That's where it's headed for her. She wants that one. I mean, that's the only thing she's got going for her is that she's gorgeous. She's safeguarding her looks, though. Like, that's the thing is, Cooper... chain smoking, trying to get rich or die trying, just like Landman. Landman, chain smoking like a madman, trying to get rich or die trying. Why do women want to have sex with this man? He doesn't even seem to have time to have a shower. He's grubby, he chain smokes, he doesn't shave, he's ill-kempt, and somehow he gets the girl. Is that supposed to be part of what makes him bad, that he's not conventionally handsome? Cooper, also not conventionally handsome. Kind of one of the things about the show is that it's got like an interesting looking cast. Colm Feore putting in a powerful performance as Nathan when he's there. Dell, like people have said, also a nice guy. It's not like everybody's evil. Angela has a way of bringing out the evil parts of everybody because she's such a terrible asshole. But I mean, she doesn't have any nice moments until let's be honest, when Tommy needs her most and his mother has died. She kind of shuts up and puts her arm around him at least. But Sam Elliott, he's Tommy's father. We can see where he gets it from. He starts crying and then says she was like the worst human being in the world. And when Landman gets there, they can talk about it. Tells Tommy, yeah, I'm sorry about the fact that I was married and like to stick it into crazy, but that's the way it goes. And Cooper's just like, I wish I'd met her. And he's like, you're probably best off that you didn't. She was real nuts. Well, I reckon I'll see you at the funeral. It was crazy, sirs and madams. And this is just a show about
Wife.
not so nice
There's a term
people
for you,
and
right?
what. Hey, shut up. This is a show about not so nice people and what they do. And no one in this show is nice. No one in this show is really good or admirable. Ariana and Cooper are the closest, and their dark storyline is a story of deep inappropriateness. Teag, tell us a little more.
A TCU campus so she can live near her baby. With Angela being more of a worst influence than a best friend to her daughter Ainsley, it's a safe bet no one's graduating from anywhere.
Ainsley's going to hunt down a husband and destroy him. She'd already destroyed one of her boyfriend. Yeah, pour one out for whoever dates Ainsley next. It's not going to be pretty. But there we have the Patch Cafe where a lot of our action happens. And it's got a great Southwestern feel. It's just another sports bar. Sirs, madams, sirs, now's the moment where we say Enterprise this week is going to be another fantastic episode. I forget the episode title. It's the first one where we bring back Brent Spiner, or is it Spinner? I don't know. I call them both interchangeably because I can't remember. He said that it's supposed to be Spinner, but then he said they've called me Spiner so long it's basically Spiner. Then he doubled down that it's actually Spinner, and he went back to be honest with you, Spiner's more or less what it is. But I don't care. So I got weirdly conditioned to both. So now I can't keep it straight because he can't either. Me and Brent are in the same place with this. He shows up as his own creator's ancestor, as Soong's ancestor. This guy's a geneticist, and he introduced us to, at Cold Station, the concept of the augments. And they're going to have a 3-story arc, and then some more of the conniving and weird shit they're going to do is going to pop up because we already introduced the first thread but didn't name names yet in the Terra Prime story arc that's going to come to be a big part of season 4. We're getting into the meat of season 4 of Enterprise now, and as we look at our lovely landman ladies, maybe it's time to bring on someone who is more well-known to channel members. I have other media assets here, and here to show you her assets. Here's my girl. Channel spokeswoman Sydney Sweeney will be joining us for the duration of my rant. Guys, Saturday's episode, I believe titled Cold Station, is pretty damn good. The wolf from Landman, Taylor Sheridan, apparently likes killing wolves in his shows. I didn't catch a wolf dying in this one. I missed it. I know Deer gets it. I watched that episode 3 times. But I'll catch it when I watch the video in the episode. Do they shoot a wolf? Did I just look away for a minute and miss it? When I make the video essay, I'll have to watch it at 3 times third speed. Spiner, that's Bob Wheeler. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Brent Spinner is in the episode Cold Station, I think. But yeah, he plays criminal genius, great-great-great-great-grandfather to Noonien Soong or whatever. And he's a real dick. Maybe he's even grandfather because Noonien Soong is gross old, right? 130. Him and Grand Negus Shrek sound almost exactly the same when they speak, don't they? And boy, when they speak, some of the things they say. George, did you, but tell us your Star Trek theory. You know what? Let's get Spock in on this one for a minute.
That was so controversial. Sir.
Sure.
We did it. Spock's one of us. We pulled it off. We have an interesting series with Landman. We'll be covering that. It drops while we're live doing Enterprise. It's the weirdest thing. We finish Enterprise, and if we go late, it drops. An hour after we're done, about 3 a.m. East Coast time, the new episode drops. So this has been my life. Friday, go live, hang out with all you wonderful people, see what's going on in the world. Saturday, watch the episode of Enterprise really closely. Maybe make the video essay because I've already watched it once earlier in the week. Saturday night, stream the Star Trek stream from 10 to 1 a.m. 1 a.m. Eastern, we're out of there. Off like a prom dress. Sunday afternoon, do the Jets game live with Outlaw on the OBSN Outlaw Bill Sports Network. You should subscribe to my friend Outlaw Bill. He's great. Then, Saturday, it's a bear, man. It starts with the watch party with Germ on his channel or doing it solo. It's like, I sometimes I need stimulants.
Pure anti-proton. Absolutely pure.
Or coffee. Coffee works too. But you know what? This week's Landman essay is out there for you to see. Catch it before the next one drops. Landman is in town for the foreseeable future. We got 6 more weeks of this and maybe as many as 8 more episodes. They haven't been up front with us again. So we just don't know. But yeah, check out Resolute Germ's channel. He is a great YouTuber, and he also hosts most of the watch parties for this channel when he can. He's got his own crazy schedule that I'm not going to elaborate about. It's his whole thing. But you know what? We saw some wild video tonight. We had a pretty cool conversation. I'll be back on my usual night on Thursday to talk more interesting news and pop culture stuff with you. And really all we had on the slate tonight was the weird events in London where we had the guy from Father Ted assaulted by trans activist teen weirdo. The person who attacked him was definitely a weirdo. And you know what? We're up to 2,969 channel members. If you want to be the 2,970th and put that 2.97 after my name, please go ahead and do so. Feel free, join us, be one of us. If this is your first time watching the show, it's like a rare Tuesday. Tuesdays just somehow became rare. I put them out of style by not showing up for 3 weeks in a row and messed up my own matrix. I'll be back on Thursday with the regular show, and Germ will be here too. But you know what? I wanted to show my smiling face. Hello, everybody. It's good to see you. And see all of you. It's good to see you. I love you all. And we got a great Star Trek episode coming up for you called, I believe Cold Station is this week, but it's the beginning of the Augment arc. We're going to do it one episode at a time. There's too much to unpack. They're running season-long threads while they're doing the Augment arc. So it's really, really deep. We're going to have the usual crew back for the whole show. But I really, from the bottom of my heart, I have to thank my very good friend and our supporter here and Cornerstone channel member, RRTNZ. 2 of the people who really make things happen here the most, who are members of the channel rather than people who jump on the panel. Non-panelist channel members who make the biggest difference to me are Buddy. Thank you, Buddy, sir. Sir, I thank you. Humbly. Buddy, sir. Thank you, sir. And also RRTNZ. He feeds us the Chuck Norris jokes, but also, here's the thing. He is a consistent, funny, intense, but intensely polite and well-spoken voice for the fans. Whenever I have him on to represent the fan point of view, you guys get some of the best fan point of view stuff you could ever possibly hope for. He is absolutely fantastic. And I think that maybe one of the best representatives our community has as far as talking about the material and getting it out there. And you know what? While we're talking about the material and getting it out there, Landman Live Chapter 1, 2.2000, okay, 2.184. We hit that one out of the park. That ball's still carrying. Season 2, Episode 2, it's chugging along. Right now, it's got just about 300 watches, okay? It's chugging along with 75 post-view views in under 48 hours, so people are watching it a couple of times an hour. Check it out. Give it a like. Do me a favor. You could really, really help me with something important. The Landman video essay needs a little love, okay? Because I go to Reddit and let them, and believe, guys, I suffer for this one, okay? I do suffer for this one. When I go to Reddit, I get raked over the coals. So, you know what? Believe me, I get every bit of comeuppance that I deserve. If you could be so kind, when my show ends in a couple of minutes, cue this up. Check out Teags Landman video essay. It's funny. It's in this. I think it's funny, at least. You guys need to be the ones to decide that. But I offer it up to you as an attempt to be funny. I offer the Landman video up to you in good faith as yeah, you know what? Maybe I will blow off this Thursday and do a bigger Friday. You're right. Thursday is Thanksgiving. I'm thinking like the narrow-minded YouTuber I am. Though if I get back late and, I feel like going live, I just will. I just can. And I just will. But, Black Friday, you know what? Teag-teenth. It's Teag-teenth. We're going to celebrate myself. We have Martin Luther King Days coming. We just had both Juneteenth, Kwanzaa in a couple of weeks starts. I don't think we also have to have Black Friday. That's over-representation, in my opinion. And, of course, I'm being purposefully and ironically ignorant. Everybody knows Black Friday is just all this could be. And might be the original black holiday, but has nothing to do with Kwanzaa or the other black holidays. It's Black Friday. I hope that you get what you want. I hope that if you're traveling and you're listening to me later as a video podcast, I hope that you find the video pleasant. I hope you listen with the tab open for a couple minutes. Give me an analytic that helps me out. Hope you hit like. And also, I hope you drive very safely. I hope that you arrive where you are safely. I hope that you have a wonderful time. I hope that you see everyone you want to see, that you can see. And the people that, aren't there, you'll see them again. There's cause for joy. Be thankful. Thankful for what we got. There's people who are much worse off than us. Just look around you. You want to feel better about life? Look how miserable people are on X as far as their stances. Everybody, maybe just forget the politics. Don't be the drunk uncle this year. Show up and talk about the football game. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Be safe on it. Don't be someone else's Thanksgiving story. I know that I don't have to tell you guys this, but you're the smartest chat on YouTube, but maybe you'll pass that along in consumable form to someone else. Don't be someone else's nightmare. You know what? I hope to have a good time. I'm going to see some fam too. I'm going to see mom. I'm going to see the fam. Everybody's clustered in one town on Long Island. Long Island. That's, when they say it with the New York accent, Long Island is Long Island. All right. That's where I'm going to go. I got to pass through Hollis in Jamaica, where I was born, on my way there. And so shout out to all those like Mary J. Blige and, Lamar Odom and 50 Cent. 50 Cent doing a documentary on P. Diddy. I want to see presenting Sean Combs. He knows him good enough, and they were never friends. They were never friends. I don't know if they were enemies, but they were never really friends. Like, they traveled in different circles, and, you just can't have two fucking big wheels in the same place at the same time. P. Diddy was doing his thing, and, I think 50 Cent was just being a much more upright citizen and much... Whoa! Sir! Buddy Hepburn, sir. You have joined the Q Continuum with an absolutely breathtaking and jaw-dropping $20 United States Super Chat. You know what? That I need to compose myself. So what do we do? First, we start with Bacon Spock, but then we're going to show you someone we love.
Incoming transmission.
Welcome to Saving Star Trek, a show talking about one of my favorite shows, Enterprise. I am Linda Park. I play Hoshi Sato and also Empress Sato. So enjoy this show. I love that it's finding a whole new life on the streaming services. And you better hit that like button or Empress Sato will not be happy. I mean, she could make a storm happen. And she could really make your life hard. Anyways, enjoy the show, hit that like button, and thank you for being a fan of Enterprise.
Buddy, mon ami, hombre, pal, I couldn't do what I do at all without you. And then you top it off with that wonderful gift. Thank you from the bottom of my cold, black little heart. I thank you so much. And yeah, a little Hoshi sauce there. We might have to get together, like maybe a longer supercut of the beautiful ladies from Mirror Darkly. That episode, so amazing. We had so much fun watching that together. There is going to be an incredible holiday season where you're all going to be as happy as you want to be. Just reach down deep. You know what? If you smile through the storms, sometimes, you know what? Smiles can be contagious. And then maybe that smile comes back at you and gives you a real smile. And pretty soon everybody's smiling, right? We don't have to sit there and debate terrible stuff unless you're losing money on the football game. Now, the Jets, I don't think, are ruining Thanksgiving this year. They played on Sunday. But you know what? It would be just like them if they did. But let's find out. All right, the Falcons at 1 p.m. So it could be a lot worse. At least they won't ruin Thanksgiving for a change, right? My God, it's been just absolutely the worst for the Jet fans. Anyway, I'm going to keep on telling you the truth. I'm going to keep on bringing you the entertainment. I'm going to keep on slinging you the hot takes. And I'm going to keep on being Admiral Teag. You guys got a holiday video coming at you that'll drop. Ooh, maybe it'll drop in time to do some traveling on Thursday. I'm going to. It's not now. It's been seen before, so don't go hunting around for it because you'll spoil the great jokes. But I think what happened was I was late and under. I was under talented last year. Gonna try the "It's a Wonderful Life" parody again. Just gonna re-upload that one, but I'm gonna enhance it. Gonna make it into the video essay it should have been the first time. It's most of the way there. That's about the only thing I can do tomorrow in full. I think that I can take a couple of these Star Trek video essays that I made for the show and do some narration over them to describe the end of the Xindi arc, because I think we do need an end of the Xindi Star Trek video. It's been a great deal, but you know what? I got to do something right now just for the hell of it. As you can see, like typing away, it's ear prawn, right? Because honestly, the typing sound, it's like gives you now an emotion. Like prawn, the definition is an image that gives you an emotion. So this audio prawn, right? You know what? You've done this for everyone else so far. You can't do it for yourself. So, buddy, thanks for supporting the fleet with your generous donation to the fleet. Typed like the true foolish idiot that I am. What can I tell you? Without you, all super chat thanks would be spelled this badly and have this inappropriate use of grammar and tense and usage. It's just terrible. Chiefs said Cowboys is going to be the referee calamity gift that keeps on giving. Oh. The bloom is off the rose on my homeboy. I'm going to tell you guys before I go the weirdest thing of the week. Weirdest thing this week, I saw Shadon Saunders' father start as a fucking Yankee. All right? It was the night before 2 nights before the baseball strike. I have a souvenir on my wall. He played at Yankee Stadium as a New York Yankee. Look it up. He was in left field for the end of the game. Maybe he was a pinch runner, but August 13th, 1994's Yankee lineup includes a guy called Deion Primetime Sanders. I saw him play baseball, okay? He drew a dollar sign in the box and Carlton Fisk punched him in the fucking face. I believe as a White Sox at the time. I was at the game and there was a giveaway at the game. It hangs on my wall to this day. And then there was one more game the next afternoon and then baseball ended and there was a strike that lasted for a year, ended by, get this, Sonia Sotomayor, a name that may or may not be familiar to you. But, yeah, you know what? The bloom is off the rose with my homeboy, whose father I saw play as a Met. So it's Mets-Yankees on Thanksgiving. I saw Patrick Mahomes' father play as a starting pitcher for the New York Mets. I saw Shadwan Sanders' father start for the Yankees. So, who is he starting for these days? Dak Prescott is still the Cowboys. What the fuck team did I see it for? It was just happened yesterday. It was the Browns. The Browns, and he's the first Browns quarterback, I think, in the history of the new Browns. It said since 1996, so that's like franchise long for them. They start around 1996, maybe even 1998. They inherit the old team's history. They're allowed to retire numbers. The Ravens can do it too because the Ravens are the original Baltimore team. But the Browns, they started Shadwan Sanders, primetime Sanders' son, and he won his debut at quarterback. He went 9 for 11 with 250 yards or something like that. He had a good, efficient game. And I think he had 2 touchdowns, but, whatever. He won his start, and, he looks a lot like Prime. It was just, so interesting. So I'm so looking forward to Browns, Cowboys, whenever that happens, and I hope the league makes that happen. I want to see the Yankee-Met rivalry transposed to football. And I would just say, out of the two of them, Patrick Mahomes is the better baseball. Pat Mahomes, the father, was the better baseball player. Patrick, don't call me Pat Mahomes, is because he is Pat Mahomes Jr., is Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes' father was a 2000 New York Met. He started for them. He started a lot of games. He was a regular season innings eater. He could throw as well. And did not see him take batting practice like I saw with Prince Fielder or Darryl Strawberry's son, but he hadn't been born yet, right? But, who knows? I may have seen... I think Shadwan Sanders is also far too young for me to have seen but take batting practice. He would be 40 years old because that game was 31 years ago. And damn, am I old! But you know what? I still have the giveaway. It was a Leroy Neiman of Phil Rizzuto celebrating his Hall of Fame from, of all places, Chemical Bank. They don't exist anymore, sirs and madams. How'd I pull that off? I could time travel back and maybe give that to somebody. But you know what? As much as I have had a great time, it's time to, first of all, say that Saving Star Trek is brought to you by the generosity of, or the genius of, Gene Roddenberry, the madness of Admiral Teague, and the generosity of viewers like Mr. House Party 6, who bought 5 Admiral Teague memberships, or Buddy Hepburn, who gave us a very, very, very generous $20 North American super chat. And that North American money, that's going to be, let's call it what it is, the coin of the world. And thank you, Mr. House Party 6 as well. Guys, please take my advice. Drive carefully, enjoy, arrive alive, don't get too tanked up in general, eat like crazy unless you're not supposed to, have a great time, and, don't waste time. Fear no darkness and waste no time fighting. Let that be everyone else's problem. Just, and if it doesn't feel like the best day, if you can manage a smile, just give it a try. I have a lot of stuff that happened to me on Thanksgiving I could talk about. I'm not going to get into it. It's nobody's business. I don't want to talk about it, but, it's a tough holiday, and the holidays are tough for everyone. But you know what? If you do have reasons to feel sad this holiday, don't worry about it. So do I. I'm going to have a good time anyway, and so can you. You can let yourself off the hook, and you can enjoy yourself. And you know what? If no one else loves you or thinks you're cool, remember, just like Ozzy Osbourne said, I love you all.
The word decent doesn't apply to me.
That's not true. I love you all.
Because I can.
That's what I meant. And never give up.
We will win.
Oh, shut the fuck up, Chuck. Jesus, I apologize on behalf of the people of New York. I don't know what he was thinking. When we send you our senators, we're not sending our best anymore. We couldn't do better.
Don't bullshit me.
Move here and we'll send you. All right, guys, have a great time. We have a great little setup for the next part of the show that Sean made for us, and let's engage that right now. Here it is.
Incoming Sydney Sweeney video. Set boners to full. Lubrication supply sufficient for projected fapping level. Paper towels to standby. Turbo lift door secured and locked. Wives and girlfriend interruption probability at 12%. You may commence masturbatory actions at any time.
If Landman were here, he'd be like, your water-based chemical solvent is in a petrochemical bottle. You phoning piece of shit. It got to you on a jet plane and then was put on a truck to the supermarket where it sat on a plastic shelf. We took it home in a plastic bag, didn't you motherfucker? Landman is so based. When I tried Landman-type medicine reasoning at the doctor the other day for my eyes, they were like, no, you can't write your own rules. Do what we say or don't see anything. So you know what? After this, I'm going to peel out my contact lenses and put on my glasses. And thank all of you for an awesome show. Buddy, Mr. House Party 6, thank you both. And everybody, have a great Thanksgiving. To get you going, here's Sydney Sweeney. Looking seductive. I'm doing a little dance here. Can I finish? Yeah, finish. We have seconds coming. We love you all. I'll see you Saturday, and I'll see you Friday for a member show. Bye.
Hot milk. Hot milk.